Was that tomato soup? It tasted so real. She could practically feel the soup running down her throat. But why would... Good gum, Giselle muttered. Nice minty flavor. She looked at Tiffany with an expression of feigned concern. Is there anything wrong? She asked. You seem confused. She then flashed Tiffany a smile that made her blood run cold. Wait. If Giselle got the mint gum, then I must have... The gums must have... Oh, God! A sudden panic gripped Tiffany as the flavor of tomato soup continued to assault her taste buds. She thought back to Giselle bumping into her. Had the little bitch managed to swap the two gums? By now, Giselle's smile had taken on a sinister glint. Oh no, no, cried Tiffany. Young lady, is everything all right? Asked Wonka as he, Kristen, and Angela turned to face her. That's when she remembered the antidote back in the vault. I left something back in the vault. I just need to get it. Without waiting for a response, she turned around and ran down the stairs as fast as she could. The rest of the group was left staring at her retreating form, unsure what to make of the scene. After a few moments, Giselle turned back to face the others, a strange twinkle in her eye. Don't worry, I'll go make sure she's okay. Just wait here. And with that, she skipped off down the stairs, merely following Tiffany's trail at a leisurely pace. Tiffany, meanwhile, was rushing down the stairs as quickly as she could, descending 3 at a time, huffing with the exertion. She wasn't sure exactly what effect the gum would have on her, but she knew she had to get to the antidote as quickly as possible. Sweat trickled down her body. She fought back the urge to cry with panic, all while chewing methodically on the gum and tasting the flavor of tomato soup. The flavor was starting to fade, which only made Tiffany more worried. By the time her feet slammed into the basement floor with a dull thud, the tomato flavor was gone entirely. But before Tiffany could run down the hallway, the gum assaulted her with a new flavor, roast beef with mashed potatoes. This flavor was so powerful that she temporarily forgot about her struggle as the taste filled her mouth. She closed her eyes and leaned against a wall, savoring the flavor, reminded of a delicious home-cooked meal. She moaned, reveling in the sensation. It tasted so good. She dreamily licked her lips as she felt the roast beef flavor flow down her throat. She wanted to just slide down to the floor and enjoy the wonderful gum, to get lost in its glorious sensations. No, she cried aloud, eyes snapping open. She had to get to the antidote. Pushing herself away from the wall, she ran full tilt towards the vault's giant door, doing her best to ignore the gum's taste. By the time she reached the gigantic metallic door, she was nearly out of breath. She anxiously looked around for a handle, but there was none to be found. She let out an audible groan. How the hell does this thing open? That's when she remembered. There was a secret panel somewhere. Wonka had pressed it a few minutes ago. But where? She frantically began running her hands along the door, hoping to hear a metallic click. At first, no luck. She began to hyperventilate as her hands worked all up and down the door. She noted with alarm that the roast beef flavor, too, was beginning to fade. That's the second course. Nearly finished. What happens when it hits course 3? Finally, as her despair was reaching its peak, one of her hands found home. She let out a relieved sigh as she heard the mechanisms within click into place, and the door swung open. And not a moment too soon. By now, the roast beef flavor was all but gone. Not waiting for the door to open completely, Tiffany ducked into the vault and ran for the pestle in the center of the room, where the antidote would be waiting. However,